All right. Okay. Got it. Benny, good to hear from you. Good to hear you're keeping well. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, so I'd like uh I'd like us to get our notepads and pens, pencils ready. Uh this is one of the topics I'm particularly excited about. And so I want all of you to pick some sort of I'm sure by now with the sessions that we've been having together, you definitely have a separate either a diary or a notepad, where you write all the useful points and pointers that I share from time to time. And for me personally, as I progress, in the space that I find myself in, I realize how, is a mark of you being a serious person, somebody who takes, their life seriously, to have a notepad and just be jotting down things either that come to mind, or when you hear something, you get to put it down. It's not every day that we hear it's not every day that we hear something useful. So when we do hear something, that gets ex- gets us excited, we should try and put it down. So good, good, good. All right, it's officially 16:08. The topic we have today is developing leadership skills and advancing in the workplace. Um, I'm sure you guys know the rules. I want it to be as interactive as possible. Please, any question that comes to mind, feel free to put it in the chat. There'll be a point where, um, at least during the presentation, if we might have space for some questions being thrown whilst the presentation is going on, please, 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 please feel free to drop some questions in the chat if you feel you need some clarification of sorts. All right. He'll be sensing an insightful discussion. I mean, hopefully, that's the plan. All right. So 21 people, let's get in. Well, I'm sure like Abidat said, you all know who I am. So my name is Kwame Natsumi. I'll be your facilitator for the session today. And before I get into it, I'd like to ask, when you hear leadership, right? When you hear leadership, what comes to mind? You can drop, what comes to mind in the chats when you hear the word leadership. Good. See, somebody has dropped in there. Influence. Good. Benny, thank you for sharing that. That's clearly straight up influence. Anybody else? When you hear the word leadership, I want it to be participatory, so please feel free to share. Somebody says risk. Okay, that's an interesting angle to it. Risk. Who else? Hey guys, people have been throwing the word. Hey, we have bad leadership. We have good leadership. I want to hear when you hear the word leadership, what comes to mind? Somebody says, Osman Idrisu says administration. Good, good, good. Okay. Abdul Rahman says creating and leading the way. Okay, that's insightful. Our Hassan Baba Mohammed says directorship. Wanda Hagan says management. Okay, good, good, good. I'd like to take three more and then we continue. Vision, good, good. MH, that's a good one. Vision. Anybody else? When you hear the word leadership, what comes to mind? I want two more and then we get in. So far we have influence, risk, administration, creating and leading the way. There's directorship, there's management, there's vision. Gideon says, ability to make decisions, give instructions, and be obeyed. Okay, that's a good one. Oh, I like that. MH says inspiration. Good, good. Sule Husseini says the capacity to influence people to do something. You guys are sharp guys. Harrison says control. Okay. Okay. I think we have a good enough number of words to begin the session today. Good, 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 good. Control. That's an interesting one. Okay. All right. So we are going to be speaking about leadership within the context of career, right? And in this case, like
Kwame is trying to join again, please. Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
hear you.
We can hear you, Kwame. Can you hear me? Okay, I think his network isn't stable.
okay.
Yeah.
Hello guys.
Hi, can you hear me?
Good, good. I can hear
Hello.
you now. I don't know if it was me, but I dropped off.
Yeah,
I dropped off.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. Apologies. I know there are a lot of conversations around how technology. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
So,
what's happening today, but we shall overcome.
of course.
Um, boy, oh boy. Okay. Abidat, can you add me as
Yes,
host?
yes, yes. Sorry.
Yes, right.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. I believe you cannot see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see your screen. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, all right. So, like I was stating earlier, we are going to be speaking about the whole idea of leadership, our career. correct. This cuts across into entrepreneurship as well. So it will be important for you to take some notes as we move along. Guys, forgive me for the drop in the internet. Okay, all right. So what is leadership? We say well, I was doing a bit of digging and you know, and skill, right? The concept of leadership is a very practical skill. You need to keep that in mind. As an individual,
Kwame.
right? I need yes.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah, I
hear me?
can hear you, but it keeps breaking. I don't know if it's from my
What's
end,
happening?
but it keeps breaking. Is it the same for everyone?
Um,
Yes, it's the same with
Yeah,
me.
it's the same with us
Yes,
all.
oh
the
wow,
same
wow.
thing.
Yeah, we experience the same thing. It
Yeah,
keeps breaking.
we keep losing you at the point.
I think the network on your side is not that strong. So if you can,
I think if you can reposition it will help us.
Okay, is it clear now?
Yeah, it's
Can you
better.
hear me?
It's clear. It's clear now.
yeah, it is.
Okay, all right, good. Yes, whatever happens today, we shall overcome. Don't worry,
Of
it will
course.
happen. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying earlier, the whole concept of leadership, right, is the practical skill. I want to emphasize the fact that it's a practical skill. It's something that is visible. It's something that is I mean, some people might argue tangible because you should be able to see, feel, touch it, to an extent, right? Um, it's the ability of an individual, group, or organization to lead, right? To lead, to influence, or guide other individuals, teams, and entire organizations, right? So as I was dissecting this definition, some of the keywords that stood up to me was, lead, right? When you hear the word leadership, there's definitely the idea of leading. You have to lead. So there is lead. And then the second one was influence, right? Very quickly, when you hear the word influence, what comes to mind? I'd want to about three. What pops up to you when you hear the word influence? Kindly share that in the chat. When you hear the word influence, what comes to mind? Osman
I-
says convince. Okay, who is speaking?
yeah,
Persuade,
someone
convince.
someone whose presence is acknowledged. I think acknowledgement.
That's one side to it. That's one side to it. But I get the angle you are coming
Yeah,
at.
everything good.
Okay, all right. I think kindly mute your audios. Okay, so we have here persuade, convince, another says authority, another says inspiring people to act in a particular way. Okay, I think we are all impact. Okay, good. We are all around at least we are touching on, we are highlighting words that touch or to a very large extent relates to the word influence, right? And then there's guide. And so as I was thinking about it even within the concept of career, the thing that came to mind was good. Jahana Dramani says to cause change. Good. That's a good one. Somebody sending something again. Influence refers to the capacity or power of a person, effect on others, or the course of things. Absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Good one. Okay. So as I was thinking about it, I thought to myself, we have, to a very large extent, when we are speaking about leadership, people tend to point to the next man or to the next woman, right? People, generally speaking, people do not see themselves as leaders, right? And it's unfortunately in our world today, when we even within the context of Ghana, right? When we are speaking about all of the, the plenty issues that we are having, from rubbish, people throwing rubbish around, to choked gutters, to bribery and corruption, to the potholes on our roads, to our crowded markets, and so on and so forth. There's this sense, right, when you watch people or when you interact with people, that somebody is coming to change it. There's some leader somewhere who is coming to change the situation, right? And so there's a certain predominant there's a certain predominant theme when you're watching the news, right? And there are issues when they go to a certain particular community and they are highlighting the issues there, and they interview maybe a local within that area. What they say is, oh yes, we are buying. Yes, we are buying. Everything is, oh, we are waiting for the government, or we are praying for the government to come and do A. We are praying for the government to come and do B, C. There's this way where we remove the leadership part of us and throw it and hope that it's for somebody to come and solve the problem. And I said I was excited about discussing this topic because I hope that by the end of this discussion, we are going to have a change of mind. We are going to have a renewal of hearts. We are going to have a transformation in the way we think and do things, right? When it comes to especially within this context of developing leadership skills and in career, we would realize that whether we like it or not, right, we are leaders first before anything else, right? So all of the 35 plus people over here, including myself, we are leaders first before anything else, right? So leadership starts with self. I need us to be very clear on that. That person that you're looking for to come and save you, well, the person is not going to come. Understand that you are the person. Remember, I think in one of our first sessions, I highlighted the poem by Henley. Was it William? Yes, William Henley. The fact that you are the captain of your fate. Remember that you are the one who is in charge, right? For the most part of anything, you are the one who is in charge. All the decisions that you make on a day-to-day, nobody makes them for you. You make them yourself. So it's important to understand that you are a leader before anything else, right? As we go along, I'm sure you get some more clarification as to what I'm speaking about or what I mean by that. So I'm going to ask a few questions here, right? How are you leading yourself? How are you leading yourself? How are you guiding yourself? Remember the some of the keywords that we highlighted in the definition of leadership, right? So I'm asking, how are you leading yourself? How are you guiding yourself? How are you influencing yourself? Remember, we're using these words. We're using leading, we're using guiding, we're using influencing, right? What are your values as an individual? To all 36 or 33 plus people over here, what do you stand for? Right? And if I want to put it within the context of our careers, right? These questions are ever so important. They highlight a very critical aspect of who a leader is, right? And so you see how we are able to look at someone and say, oh, this person is not serious. Oh, this person is serious. Oh, this person, I'll take this person to, to this place. Oh no, don't take this person to that place. It's all because of how we are leading ourselves, right? So I need us to keep in mind that when we hear this whole idea of leadership, oh, it's about bringing change. Somebody says it's about, making people do things, or somebody says it's about, oh, doing this. No, 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 no. I want us to take a break or take a pause from all of those notions of leadership that we have, and understand that when we speak about leadership, leadership starts with you, right? How are you combing your hair before you go out? How are you making sure that you are keeping your personal hygiene on point? How are you making sure that you are speaking well, right? How are you making sure that you are dressing well? How are you making sure that you are taking time, from the 24 hours you have in a day to add knowledge, to add wisdom to your head, right? How are you making sure that you are carrying yourself in a way and manner that puts you in line to be able to attract all the things that you say you want, right? That's what leadership is. You see how we're able to point our fingers at the current government and saying, oh, the current government is not doing this, oh, they are not doing that, oh, they are not doing that. But when I come to your room right now, when I come to and I visit your rooms, right, from your hostel rooms to your rooms in your house, in your homes, right, would it show some level of leadership? Would I see it and go like, oh yes, this person is a serious person. This person is somebody who takes themselves seriously. This is somebody who is leading themselves, who is guiding themselves, right? You see, that's why I said in the beginning that leadership is 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 uh, is practical, right? When if anybody describes leadership to you in a way and manner that sounds, like something that is up there in the sky, please run away from that person, right? Are you influencing your bedroom space in a way and manner that if anybody sees it, people will go, oh no, this person is serious. This person is this person has some level of discipline, right? Would I come and see your bed sheets not washed for over 2 months? Right? Would I come and see that your bulb is dead in your bathroom and you've decided not to do anything about it? Would I come and see your room dirty because you eat food and keep it under your bed? Would I come and see empty packs of juice and so on and so forth, all scattered all over your books and so on, scattered all over your room? Does that show the sort of leader you are? The fact that you keep yourself unkept, the fact that you don't want to you spend all day on TikTok and on Instagram and on Twitter, not actively putting knowledge and putting things inside your head that is going to transform you along the as you progress in your fields of education, or as you decide to progress in your career, right? So these are the things. Leadership, the fact that you are. So this is how I want to, if in a sense, wrap this up. Once you have a name, right? Once we can identify you with a name and the fact that you have a certain particular face and structure, right? You are a leader in your own right, right? And the way you behave, the way you carry yourself is what is going to is what we are going to judge you by. What values do you stand for? Right? What do you stand for? Will I be able to see you and point to you and say that, oh, this guy, I think he's time conscious. I think he's, he takes in fact, let me use this opportunity to throw some jabs. The people who we say that, they are time conscious. We say that we are starting a meeting at 4, and some people decide to join the meeting at 4:33. It shows that you as a leader, you have no rights. You have no moral ground to go and stand and point to Akufo-Addo and his government and say that they are not doing A, when you were giving a specific time at 4 p.m. that there was a particular meeting, but you decided to come at 4:33. You see, so the accountability, right? The scope of what we call leadership starts with you. It starts with you. It doesn't start with anybody else. All right. I hope you're in the spirits. Okay. So So going on this, the idea of what's true leadership, right? True leadership and true leadership mastery, right? I saw this quote and I was really excited about it. It says, true leadership mastery begins when you fly, right? And what does fly mean? First lead yourself. Right? Please, if you have your diary and or your notepad by you, please write this down. True leadership mastery begins when you fly. And fly here means you first lead yourself. You have to lead yourself. You have to influence yourself. And by that, influence means, and when I say by influencing yourself, it means that you are putting yourself in spaces where you're going to be around people or be around, so basically be around people, who are exhibiting certain traits, certain positive traits that you would like to have for yourself. Right? I cannot say that I'm interested in being on time and then I'm friends with the person who is always late. At some points, you have to sit down and ask yourself real questions, right? Rashad, thank you for joining the meeting. We are speaking about leadership. I hope, Gloria, hello to you too. You are very, very late for the session today. It's 4:35. The meeting started at 4. We are talking about leadership.
Yes, I
And
am
we
not
are
late.
saying
I
that
just decided to switch onto the laptop. I've already.
well, when Akufo-Addo doesn't do the potholes for you on time, you people sit down in your rooms and you'll be insulting him. So please, excuses at this point. I'm sorry. I'm not taking any excuse.
I'm not actually late. I'm not late. You will see that I've, listen, log out today. I mean,
He was
Okay.
on the call earlier.
Okay. Okay, no worries. No worries at all. Welcome back.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right. So yes, the point here is that I'm drumming on this a lot because we tend to throw the word leadership around in a way and manner that suggests that it is outside of us. And through this session that we have today, I want to bring the microscope on the way and manner in which we have, and discussed the topic of leadership. I want us to understand that true leadership mastery begins when you fly. And by fly, you need to first lead yourself. Right? And that's the real challenge. Right? That's the real challenge. It's very easy to point out, the errors or the mistakes of other people. Right? But when they put the spotlight on you, have you built enough capacity? Have you built enough skill? Do you have strong values? Are you able to stand and full chest out say that as for lateness is not my thing, right? I would never throw rubbish out of a moving car, right? I'll never throw rubbish around because I know that rubbish that I throw is going to affect something somewhere. Understanding the fact that we have a certain responsibility to ourselves, right? We have a certain responsibility to exhibit a certain standard of ourselves, right? So it's important to take note of those. I throughout the research, I came up certain quotes, right? I researched certain quotes and I want to share them with you, right? This one says, the first person you lead is you. You earn the right to lead others when they see you lead your own life well. Please, if you have a notepad or a diary next to you, I encourage you to put these quotes down. Right? It's the way we learn. Right? So when we speak about leadership, I need you to understand, right? The first person you lead, you are your own government. In fact, let me put it that way. And if you have the chance, please write it down. You are your own government, right? You are leading yourself. So with everything that is happening to you, from the moments that I come to your house, to your kitchen, to your rooms, right? When I enter your your closet room and so on and so forth, would I see that you are exhibiting, you are leading yourself well? Would I see you and go, this person, there's something there, right? This is something I want us to reflect on, right? I'm sure if we have time and I ask certain questions, I'm sure there are so many people who come to mind when I ask certain questions. We all have somebody who always comes late for events, right? Every event, the person is always late. So then when you flip the question and you ask, is this person leading themselves well? Or is this a government that I'd want to be a part of? Well, I'm sure we all know the answer to that. Right? The next quote says, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. I remember in two of our previous sessions, we spoke about the concept of self-awareness, right? Within the umbrella of leadership is the concept of self-awareness, right? Of knowing yourself. It's incredibly important, right? The third quote says, the first and best victory is to conquer self. And by conquer here, it means that making sure, conquering all the little things that take away from you. By that, what do I mean? Meaning that when you finish eating, right? When you finish eating and you go and drop the plate in the sink, you can wash it up. Leaving it there says a lot about you. Leaving it for who to come and wash. Right? So I started drawing certain linkages. Look at how, there are certain people in our lives and so on and so forth, who when they finish eating, for some people, it's very even difficult to even carry the plates to go and put in the sink. They just leave it where they are. Right? This action alone is not far from people who decide that I finished eating whatever, banana with some nuts and throwing it out of the car. They are the people who are, it's not far off from people who decide that I've finished drinking a bottle of water or I finished drinking sachet water and then throw it out of of a moving vehicle or throw it, just on the road just because, right? It's not far off, right? So I need everybody to keep keep this in mind. And John C. Maxwell says something in the last quote that I want to share. He says, as a leader, the first person I need to lead is me. As a leader, the first person I need to lead is me. The first person I should try to change is me, not the person outside, not the person next to me, but me. What do I want to see? What do I want to see for myself? Right? What sort of standards do I want to have? Right? It's unfortunately we don't have enough of these discussions, and so we are continuously building a culture, right, that sort of places the burden of responsibility and accountability on other people outside of us. In one of the quotes, I mentioned that knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Aristotle said that, right? And within the concept of self-awareness and leadership, there's this definition, right? This definition, and I'm sure if you paid attention or if you remember our last two sessions, I remember this particular slide was there where the psychologist Shelley Duvall, right, and Robert Wickland proposed this definition, right, of self-awareness, which I like so much, right? Self-awareness is the ability to be able to focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, or emotions do or don't align with your internal standards. Why are we able to okay, somebody, Sule Fuseni says, as John C. Maxwell says, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Sule, God bless you where you are. You are absolutely spot on, right? A leader. So starting with you are the one who is supposed to know the way, you go the way, and if you are able to tick the boxes on those two parts, it means that you're able to show the way to others to follow, right? So you're absolutely spot on that, right? So it's important to understand right now, the moment you hear leader, understand that, whoa, I'm a leader first before anything. You need to understand that you are a leader first before anything. I need everybody to be able to understand that, the conversation that we're having around leadership very, very well. Because to be very honest, I say this at every chance that I get, Ghana, and then by extension, Africa as a continent, is really crying for leaders, right? Leaders who are grounded, right? Who focus on themselves. First off, who do the work of focusing on themselves, right? And how their actions, thoughts, and emotions, align, whether they align or not, to those internal standards that they've built. You need to be able to have some standards, right? It's important that you are able to have certain standards, internal standards. I especially like that, because when we hear standards, people throw it around very loosely, but this one is internal standards, your standards, right? Good. I hope that we are picking up a thing or two as we move along, right? So there's no effective self-leadership without self-awareness, right? If you do not take the time to do that's personal introspection, where you decide today that, I'm going to be the guy who is going to be early for every event, right? If I'm going to be late, it means that if the event is happening at 4, if I'm going to be late, it means that I'm late at 4. I was supposed to get there 10 minutes earlier, but I'm going to be there at 4, right? Where we hold, you see, it's about holding yourself to certain standards. And you see those standards, when you go back to the definition of leadership that I highlighted earlier, right? It's the fact that it's practical. It's no long talk. It has evidence. It has proof, right? It's tangible. People can come and then see it. It's there's no room for long talk. When we see it, we see it, right? Those are the sort of things that I want us to take into consideration as we move along, right? So especially even within our careers, right? As we move along, I'll expand further. But I need you to understand that for you make the decision, right? You make the decision as to what to study. You make the decision as to how much time and energy and efforts that you put into a particular course, right? You are the one who decides that, oh, no, today I have this assignment, but I really want to understand it well, right? Who do I go and speak to? Do I go and speak to a friend who is sharper than I am? Do I go and speak to a lecturer who is sharper than I am? Do I go and speak to, do I decide to form a group of people who are, interested in this particular area of my career that I'm in? So just so I'm able to learn, right? These are the things that you see, understand this. That savior that you are looking for is you. You are the savior that you are looking for. I need all of us young people to internalize this concept very well, right? Let us do things differently from the current the current generation. Let's do things differently. Let's understand that if we want to see better for ourselves, it starts with us, right? If we want to advance in our careers, it means that we need to do certain things differently, right? So I can't stress on the concept of self-awareness enough. Take time out from time to time, right? Take time out from time to time to just pay attention to yourself. Why do I like this? Why do I spend so much time on TikTok? Why? When I know that in 3 hours, 4 hours, I won't learn anything. What could I be doing? Is there a way that can I find a way to put myself in situations or put myself on certain platforms where, even though I might be having fun, I will be learning as well? The responsibility lies with you. I need to at least before I leave here today, I want to stress that point very, very well, right? Okay. So ultimately, right, this whole concept of leadership, understand that it's self-leadership. It starts with self-leadership, right? And self-leadership is actively, and I would add intentionally, actively and intentionally developing a confident sense of who you are. A confident sense of who you are. Taking ownership taking ownership of what you do, not what somebody does, or what you do, and being intentional about where you are going. Please write this down. I need all of you to write this down, because and I want you to look at it, every day. Before you start your day, just look at it every day. To understand that self-leadership is actively developing a confident sense, right? A confident sense of who you are, right? And taking ownership. That's one big issue we have. So with every issue that happens, everybody's pointing to people outside of them. And I'm sure we all have people in our lives who never take accountability for anything. Please fear those people. And as much as possible, if you can flee from them. Those are very, very dangerous people who hold no accountability, right? Every mistake, every issue, right, is outside of them. For them, they never do anything wrong. Meanwhile, when you look at them, they have a plethora of errors and mistakes that they exhibit on a day-to-day basis. And so specifically within the concept of, or within the area of us advancing in our careers, it's important to understand, right, that all of the work that we have to do, all of the self-awareness that we have to do, all of the introspection that we have to do, all of the building of these strong internal structures, building that strong foundation, right? What we stand for, our values, how we are leading ourselves, how we are influencing ourselves, is to understand that it first starts with us. So I want to say this thing very quickly before we go into some of the things I want you to pay attention to as we. Indeed, Jessica, they are always playing the blame game. Indeed. Fear those people. Fear. In fact, with my experience so far, I'll tell you to as much as possible, stay away from those people. Right? Those people are very, very dangerous people. Right? If the person is your friend, point it out first time, point it out second time. Depending on how close the person is, point it out maximum of 5 times. And do the needful and separate yourself from those people. That person is not ready to grow. Right? So, like I was saying earlier, before we get into some of the things that I'd want you to pay attention to as you, some of the key things I'd want each of us to pay attention to as we develop, key leadership skills that are necessary for career advancement. There's something I want to share with you very quickly. So, with all of the breakdown that I've shared so far, right? What I want you to understand is, all throughout, right, I interact with quite a number of people on a day-to-day basis, from young people all the way to old. And you hear a lot about the fact that, oh, my boss is this, or my boss is that, or that's for my company, they are this, or that's for my company, they are that, right? What I want to share with you and what I overall want us to pick and take away from here is, with any organization that you join, right, understand that who you are is going to come out. Let me say that again. With every organization that we join, understand that who you are is going to come out. Now, it's important for you to note that what comes out is under your control. What do I mean? What comes out, let me say that again. What comes out is under your control, right? So meaning that, have you done the work? Have you done the behind the scenes work? That area is so important to me, right? Have you developed the skills, right? If we are talking about the fact that you are good at UX design, or you're good at graphic design, or you're good at digital marketing, have you? When I interact with you, would I be able to get it very quickly and know that, oh, this person knows their stuff, right? Would I immediately get the sense that this person, in terms of their subject matter, or the area that they say they are working on actively day in, day out, they are good at it? Would I get that sense immediately? Right? Are they respectful? Right? Do they take initiative? Right? Listen, the truth of the matter is that not all workplaces or not all organizations are going to be great. That's just life. right? That's just life. You are going to enter certain workplaces, or you are going to enter certain organizations, including the church or the mosque, right? You're going to enter certain places and you're going to be like, what is this? What is happening here? This place is very chaotic. Or this place is, like, a very common word that we use now. It's a very toxic environment. There are toxic environments all over. There are toxic workplaces all over, right? But what's my advice to people when I speak to them, right? And an advice I also give myself is that um, um, it doesn't matter if the place is toxic or not. If it so happens that I get in there for one or two reasons, let's just say I didn't know that the place was a toxic place, right? And I got into this toxic work environment. As for who I am going to exhibit it very quickly. I'm going to exhibit it very, very quickly. People are going to know me and say, this guy, he always comes to work early. This guy, he's organized. This lady, she dresses very well. This lady, she speaks very well. This individual takes initiative, right? If you know your value, if you know your value, and if you know the work that you've put in to be able to become this sort of individual, this great individual, this individual who leads themselves and leads themselves very well, you are not going to spend so much time in a toxic environment. The moment you go there, you're going to show them who you are. And if in a month, 2, 6 months, 1 year, they are not, changing their ways, you will leave the place. But when you leave the place, make sure that you put yourself in a position where nobody can say anything bad about you and your work ethic. Guys, I need a response. What I said, was it clear? Please give me a thumbs up, or give me an okay, or give me a yeah. I'm waiting on you guys. I want to be very sure that what I've just said is something that has gone in. A thumbs up, or give me something in the chat to let me know that what I've just said is something that is clear. Yes, Godson says yeah, clear. Yes, yes. I want, as much as possible. I want to get a response from everyone. Please, this thing is very, very important. What I'm saying is incredibly important, because listen, whether you understand it or not, whether you like it or not, the world is not a place full of rainbows and candy and all of that, right? The truth of the matter is that they are toxic places. They are toxic workplaces. There will be toxic. There were toxic places before we were born. There are toxic places now, and they are going to be toxic places after we leave here, right? But what I need everybody to understand is the fact that the onus lies on you to always exhibit the sort of person that you are. And if you enter the space, right? If you enter a space and you know the sort of person that you are, start delivering from the moment you enter. And then when you realize that, no, this place is toxic, it's not going to be a great environment for me, before you leave that place, right? Before you leave that place, put yourself in a position where they cannot say anything bad. Even they will understand and say, this one, we lost a good person. Right? Let them put them in a position where they say that, this person, did the person always come to work early? Yes, the person came to work early. Was the person organized? Yes, the person was organized. Was the person always making sure that we're trying to organize ourselves in a way and manner that's attracted clients and got us revenue? Yes. Right? Was the person dressing well? Was the person was their attitude great? Was their behavior great? Did they keep good personal hygiene? Right? Were they always looking to learn something new? Did they have an energy? Did they have a positive spirit? Right? Before you leave that place, before you leave that toxic environment, make sure that they'll find it difficult. They'll find it difficult to be able to say, this person was A or B or C. And you see how what I'm saying, it has nothing to do with the place, But it has everything to do with who? You. Right? There's a reason there's a reason I said I was excited about this. The work, you see, that work always starts with us, not the people outside of us. It always starts with us. And I need you to remember that. I know some of you are working. I know some of you are actively taking steps to add skills to yourself, that is going to put you in certain organizations. Understand this. When you enter the work world is a different ball game altogether. You're going to meet all types of different people, right? You're going to see people who are not leading themselves well, right? And it starts from even school. Let me even backtrack a bit. It even starts from school. We all know that person. When they give us group work, the person is never there, right? The person is never there. We all know that person who always comes to school late, right? We all know that person who doesn't keep their hygiene, good hygiene. We all know somebody whose energy is always negative. We all know those people, right? We all know those people. Do we want to be those people? That's the question. Right? So it's important for you to understand that a lot of this work when it comes to leadership, right? A lot of this the discussions we're having around the concept of leadership starts with you, right? Self-leadership, right? You know what you are doing. You know how you are carrying yourself, right? To not carry yourself in a way and manner that is not, going to attract the positivity that you want. I hope that this has sunk in. All right, so let's get into, things that I'd want you to, all of us to pay attention to, right? So self-leadership and career advancements, right? So I'm going to be sharing some practical ways, students can, all of you can exhibit self-leadership in the workplace, right? And it's important for you to understand that these are skills, right? These are, in fact, these are cheat codes. These are cheat codes that I want. If you do not have them, that is fine. One thing about self-awareness is the fact that you do realize that, at different points in your journey that you do not have or possess certain traits, right? Some people say, when I'm shy when I'm talking to people. That's fine. That's fine. Being aware that you are shy is a good thing. Now the question is, are you going to stay forever shy? You see, that's the point of self-awareness. Self-awareness puts you in a position where you're able to realize that I'm good at A, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, right? Now, what can I do to amplify my strengths? And what can I do to make sure that when in the areas of my weakness, right, I take steps to make sure that I improve on my weaknesses, because everybody can. Everybody can. If I told you some years ago I was a very shy and timid person, people will say, oh, it's not true, but I was there. I was there, and all through our journey we grow. We get access to information, we get access to knowledge, we get into different spaces, and it's in a sense forces us to become better versions of ourselves, right? So I want you to pay attention to these things and understand that if you're able to consistently, if you have some of these things that we are going to be talking about, great. I want you to strengthen them. I want you to amplify them as much as possible, right? In any organization that you step into, I need you to be able to have exhibit these skills, because they are skills that people are looking for. I don't know if I'm sure many of you have heard, but there's this whole conversation around Gen Zs, right? The Gen Zs are a group. They're literally a group of people between certain ages, but I'm trying to remember where it will come. But the point is, there's this whole conversation around Gen Zs and how they are this, they are that. They are not able to.
The people who were
They're not
born.
mentally strong. They are the least thing. They are complaining. They are whining and so on and so forth. I to an extent reject those things. I reject them because with my understanding of what leadership is, right? With my understanding of the concept of self-leadership, right? If I am in a group or I'm in a generation where a lot of the young people, they waste their time on TikTok, I'm not going to be that person because I know it's not going to inure to my benefits, right? I'm going to make sure that I'm going to take steps to improve my communication. I'm going to improve my communication because I've realized that I've done my self-awareness and realized that, no, I don't speak well enough or I'm shy, right? So if I'm shy, what can I do to make sure that I put myself in a position or I place myself in a position where I'm meeting more people, right? All of these things are incredibly important. Self-leadership is incredibly important. And so move away from sometimes uh, potentially general propaganda about a particular generation, right? I hope I'm being very clear on what it is that I'm trying to put across. So these are some practical ways you can exhibit self-leadership as we, in the workplace. And like I said earlier, this puts you in a position where, yes, thank you, Benny Goodman. So Gen Zs are between 96 and 2010. So I think a few of them, yeah, absolutely spot on. Yes. So a few of them are turning 28, yes, 28, 29, yes, 28, 27, 28, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So yeah, it's important to take note of that. So I'm going to be sharing a few things that I want you all to take note of. And please jot them down in your notepad and diary, and then reflect on those that you have, and the areas that you can amplify them, and in the areas where you think that you can do more work, please make sure you do the work, right? So one of them is being self-started, right? Do you take initiative? And bruh, as for this one, it's I'm even tempted to say it's a Ghanaian thing, right? Ghanaians have sort of crystallized this behavior where if anybody stands up, so in a situation, and it starts from school, just thinking back, and I'm noticing how some way, somehow, it's like when you stand up to say you want to do something, then the crowd says, hey, we too, no. For somebody who stands up to say, oh, I'll do this or I'll lead this, there's a funny way we just say, hey, you are Puskaya, or you are Tunu, or hey, you there, hey. And there are just these funny um, um, conversations around people standing up, standing up to say, I will do this. Or if nobody is going to stand up to do this, I will get up and do this. Right? And it's something that I want us to break away from. Be that person. If you feel you have the capacity to do something, right, for the benefit of the whole group, please, by all means, stand up and put yourself out there to get the thing done. It will do a whole lot of magic for you in your journey. And trust me, even if you feel like you are half baked in a particular area or in a particular task, just putting yourself out there, right? You're going to learn. So my point is, either ways, you win. Right? So please, this one area that is, I've been a victim of that before, so it's, and I see it all around. So particularly in a workplace, you end up seeing there will be instances where, your boss or your immediate supervisor might come in and say, oh, who can lead, who can, who can take the lead on this task? I want you to be able to lead a group to be able to do A. Please get up and do it. That's one layer. Now the next layer is being able to see the thing, right? See what is happening. You are seeing that, maybe possibly the way the files are arranged in the office are not great, but everybody is inside. All the files in the department that I'm in, they don't look great. And when we are looking for files, it's difficult. But I'm able to sit down and arrange things and mark them, and so that if my boss says, oh, I'm looking for this particular file, I can go straight to that file and then boom, right? When the thing about the workplace is we are looking for value. We are looking for people who add to us, right? Who add to the organization, right? So being a self-starter, somebody being the thing about self-leadership is the fact that, like I said earlier, who you are is always going to come out. I need to stress on that point. Who you are is always going to come out, right? And being a self-starter, somebody who takes initiative, whether they are told or not, they decide that, no, I've seen that there's some rubbish in this corner. People mistakenly throw rubbish there all of the time. See to it. Be that person who sees to it, right? Be that person who brings a certain, who just takes initiative, who just, gets things done without being told. Trust me, it is an invaluable skill to have and to possess, right? So, it's something I want all of us to pay attention to, right? So the key takeaway here is that taking initiative demonstrates your proactiveness. Don't be laid back. And willingness, you see, it shows your proactiveness and willingness to contribute to the organization's success, right? It can lead to more responsibilities and opportunities for growth. I can't stress this enough. I really cannot stress this enough. In fact, it's one of the one of the big pillars for me, right? So let's just say you join a company fresh, and I like to throw this idea to national service people a lot, right? When I get the opportunity to speak to them, it's something I like to share with them a lot. Understanding that when you get into a place, when you get into the organization, start. You see, there are issues everywhere in every organization. Some are big, some are small, some are medium-sized, right? But when the moment you enter the place, the first thing is to scan the place and see, aside what it is that I've been asked to do, what can I do? What's that extra thing that I can do that is going to add to the overall success of the organization? There are some that you have to ask permission and so on and so forth. I'm not ignorant of that, right? But the part that I want to stress is, there are some little things there that when you do, you might think nobody is watching, but people are watching. And you see, I want to also stress the fact that it's not about the fact that people are watching. It's about who you are as a person. When you leave that place, imagine, let's say the place is a toxic environment, right? Right? You enter the place, they had their files in the departments that you were working in, the departments where, the things were all over the place. But they say they are a serious organization, right? You came in and said, oh, that's for this one. I'll be organizing files and what. Okay, recording in progress. We thank the Lord, right? So, what I was stressing on. So imagine all of those things were scattered all over, right? Arranging files and getting everything in order is not a difficult skill. Everybody can do it, right? Everybody can do it. So get it done, right? And if the place is toxic, the day you leave, they'll say, making this person go or putting ourselves in a position where this person left is a mistake on our part. Right? So being a self-starter, listen, it would open doors for you as you journey in life. You will be so surprised. If there's one thing I'm going to stand on over here is this one, right? And young people don't hear it enough, unfortunately. Being a self-starter, right? You might even have a situation where people within the workplace will call you an idiot. They'll call you a fool. Excuse my French. They'll call you that because when it comes to the concept of self-leadership, they are not up there yet. They are not up there yet. No, you see, build the value and know your worth. Guys, write this down. build your value, and then know your worth. And then wherever you go, don't start showing that your worth very quickly, right? Show it very quickly, and let the people realize that this one, you are a gem. This person is a gem, right? This is not somebody we should lose. And if within 6 months, 1 year, you realize that the people are not stepping up, I would encourage you to start looking elsewhere. Start looking for jobs elsewhere if these people do not see and value your worth, right? Start showing who you are very quickly. All those positive traits that you have, start showing it, right? Start taking initiative. Trust me, it's not about them, but it is about you. It is about you. Remember that always. It is about you, not the company, not the people in the company. It is purely about you. I need you to understand that. When you have that, nobody can take that away from you. The day you decide to walk out of that company is going to know that they've lost somebody. I see some people sharing some comments. Oh, somebody is saying they can't hear me. Okay, Gloria, can you hear me now? Gloria, kindly put in the chat that you can hear me now, because I really want you to hear what I'm saying. Okay, I'm sure she'll respond soon. So guys, being a self-starter is listen. It's thank you very much. Good. You can hear me. Being a self-starter is okay. Okay, yes, Gloria can hear me now. Good. Okay, and the T says taking initiative is good. However, it comes with more responsibility. So we should know our capacity and plan well before taking the initiative. It's not just about starting, but getting things done. Okay, let me try and dissect what Andy is saying. So I highlighted this whole idea of being a self-starter and taking initiative within two contexts, right? I gave the example of speaking to people within the national service space, right? You are coming out of school fresh, you have just entered the work world, right? It's important to definitely understand what it is that you can do, right? But I highlighted the points, and I want all of you to take note of this point, that even if you are half baked, even if you are half baked in a certain area, right? Taking the initiative affords you the opportunity to learn. This is the side that a lot of people do not pay attention to, right? So if your boss sees that you're working, you are a self-starter, and decides to hand more responsibility to you, that is a good sign. Now, let's just say the responsibility becomes too much. Who are you going to go to? You have the opportunity to go to the boss and say, okay, I like what I'm doing, but I think that it's becoming a lot for me, right? And I would possibly need some help, right? I'll possibly need some help to be able to handle the load, because, it's because of ABCD reasons, it can get a little daunting for me, right? Trust me when I tell you that you see, talk about an opportunity to be able to speak to top management. Talk about an opportunity for you to have a lot of face time and interaction with people in top management. Talk about an opportunity for top management to see that, after all, he's a human being. He's a human being, and I probably didn't think about the task, the number of the increasing task I was giving him, right? But I like the fact that he's willing and he's wanting to participate. He's wanting to take a lead role on this task that I'm given. That's the part that I want you to catch, right? Andy, I hope you've paid attention to that. Your lack of capacity, or the percentage of your capacity shouldn't put you in a position where you don't even go for the thing at all. That's the point I want to put across. And they understand that once you take on a certain role, you have to go from A to Z. You have to finish it. That's another part. That's a very important part. The point is, you've put your face out there. Now you have to deliver. And if you need help, ask for the help. But that's notwithstanding, please, 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 please. This is a cheat code that I want all of you to have. I want you to have this cheat code. It's a big cheat code. Let people say about you that, oh, this person is a self-starter. He takes initiative. It's a big flex. Please take note of that. A big, 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 big flex. Okay. Number 2 is maintaining a positive attitude. I know we hear this all the time. Many people are saying, oh, have a good attitude, blah, 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 have a good attitude. You know, it has even become cliche. Some people even don't know what it means anymore, right? But having a good positive attitude is listen, the work world is stressful, right? The workspace, all organizations that you see that are doing well, you should understand that they are putting in a lot of work. They are working hard. They're trying to make sure that they are trying to meet their targets and so on and so forth, right? And as much as possible, we need positive people with a positive attitude around us, right? One of the rules I have for myself is if I'm going to engage in an activity and well, it's potentially going to be difficult, right? I just tell myself, well, for this one, I can try. I never say something is difficult and not try. My frame of mind is always, I can try this. I can try, right? I can try. I hope some of you pick that up, but always put yourself in a position where you say, I can try. Never say it's too difficult to not even try at all, but just say I can try, right? So a positive attitude enhances resilience, teamwork, problem-solving abilities, right? Making you a valuable asset and a source of inspiration for others. I cannot stress this enough. I don't know if you remember the Bible where they send the 12 spies to go and look and see what's happening in Canaan. The 12 spies went there. When they came back, they say, the people, they are giants. So, yeah, there are lots of those people in our world today. That if I tell you people today that, guys, let's organize ourselves and go to the moon. Let's organize ourselves and go to the moon. All of our negative thinking and negative, background and all of that will say, oh, what are you talking about? Oh, going to the moon to go and do what? Have you finished doing this? Have you finished doing that? Don't be that person, right? Don't be that person. In fact, let me give you an example. I work with someone, right? I'm sure I've told you this example before. His first, he he doesn't realize it, but for every task that is given to us, his first statement is always, hey, this one needs to be difficult too. This one, I don't think we can do it. That's his go-to. At a point, I was always wondering, but why? We haven't even tried the thing yet, and you're already saying it's going to be difficult and we can't do it. So after dealing with him for a while, I just flipped it in my mind and said, okay, good. Now when I'm feeling actually lazy, because all of us will have moments where we feel lazy. In the moments where I feel lazy, right, I'll specifically go to him. And when the task is thrown at us, I'll just go to him and hear what he has to say. I use what he says, the negativity that he throws at everybody, at the team. I use that. I flip it around to ginger me. I use that to ginger me to get the work done. And it's been working well for me so far. What I'm saying to you is that do not be the person who doesn't have a positive attitude, right? So do not be that yeast that is going to drain everybody. Nobody wants to be behind a basket. Everybody wants somebody who has a positive attitude, who is energetic and all of that. Good. The next one is fostering creativity, right? We are looking for people who who think outside the box. And day in, day out, I'm realizing that there's a certain beauty of our everyday life experiences that helps us in our workplace. What do I mean? Your day to day, the interaction with your mom, your dad, your cousins, your family, you going to buy bread, you going to buy watching, you pumping your tie, you buying a notepad, you going for classes and so on and so forth. All of these interactions are interesting ways that open windows of creativity in our minds. That when we are typically given certain tasks at work, our mind has a way of sometimes connecting all of these different experiences so that we can bring that resource to bear when we're dealing with, certain work task, right? So creativity can lead to innovative solutions, right? And new approaches, it's important to make you an essential contributor to an organization's competitiveness and adaptability. This is an important point that I want to stress, right? Sometimes your company might be looking to enter a certain market and they're finding it difficult, but you grew up from a certain place, and that place is to give you an idea of the way certain people within these communities think about certain things, right? You see how you can connect the dots, and that's insight to bear. Just bring it to bear. People like, you didn't think about that. So it's important to pay attention to these things. Now, first one is upholding integrity. Upholding integrity. As for this one, is it's something I will need more of, right? Because if you want to build trust, if you want to okay, I thank you for the patience. So let's run through quickly. Um,
I think he just went off again.
So we're on the bit of fostering creativity, right? So that one is integrity, right? So I was speaking about the fact that if you want to build trust, you want to build credibility. It's important to demonstrate integrity in all of your dealings, right? It's I can't stress that enough. Uh, building, and having yeah. Okay. Can you see my audio?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Good. Guys, forgive me. Okay, let me just run through. It's trying to connect, so hopefully my screen will share soon enough.
Share it. I say.
We can see your screen.
Oh, good. All right, great. All right. So let's just run through very quickly. So the issue of integrity is one that cannot be understated, right? The next one is being hardworking and dedicated. Uh, There's another one that I'm sure a lot of people hear from time to time. Hey, you have to be hardworking and dedicated, blah, blah, blah. But you see, because of the previous examples and scenarios that I shared earlier, right? Being hardworking and dedicated has nothing to do with the environment that you are in. It has everything to do with you. So it's important to make sure that you are hardworking for yourself, right? You are dedicated for yourself. You are that person who says that if I am going to be in this space, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to put my all in there, right? Let's strive. Let's strive to lift the bar, raise the bar when it comes to these things, right? So hard work and dedications are recognized and rewarded in every workplace, right? And so in a situation where you are in a toxic space and you're not recognizing the fact that you are hardworking and dedicated, please, I will encourage you, right, to start looking elsewhere, right? It's as simple as that, right? So being hardworking and dedicated, it leads to career progression and increased responsibility. So the more you know how to do stuff, the more you give yourself the chance to be able to advance in your career. The next one is effective time management, right? As for this one, I can't stress it enough. Guys, we have built and we have crystallized this culture of Ghana time, unfortunately, which is not great, right? We need to show that we are serious people, and serious people, with every serious country, the seriousness starts with the individual, right? I know in certain scenarios you can create an environment where time consciousness becomes the norm, but what I like to say is that before we get there, let us build an internal foundation or an internal structure that's built us to the point where we are never late for an event, right? It's possible, it can be done, right? So effective time management ensures that we meet deadlines and commitments, showcasing that you are reliable. That's a huge plus, for anybody in your workplace to say that you're a reliable person is a huge tick, So please, let's it's one of the things I'd like you to strive for. Somebody is saying, Gloria is saying there's also the issue of efficient workers being rewarded with more work. It discourages a lot of people from being diligent. Oh, Gloria, thank you for raising this point, right? I'm sure a lot of the ranting that I've been ranting is making people realize that when you are in an environment where, because you are the diligent one, because you are the dedicated one, because you are the hardworking one, right? They end up giving you more work. Flip it. Never look at it as they're giving you more work and they're not giving the other person, they're not giving the person, they're giving the next person less work, right? In fact, this is how I look at it. I think about the story of the parable of the talents, right? You see some people, they give them one, but they'll go and hide it under the ground. They'll go and hide it under the ground. And the person that they gave more, the people who had more, what did they go and do with the more? They multiply the more. Right? And if you're in a situation where they're giving you more work, and then you realize that, the company is not rewarding you, or it's not creating that environment where it's like, oh, you're going to they are not rewarding you, or it's not creating an avenue where you see a clear path for career growth and all of that. Oh, please leave them quick. But every opportunity for more work, please take it. Be hardworking, do more. Please, at every opportunity, try and do more. Okay? Good. The next one is continuous learning and skills development. I can't stress that enough, right? If you stay stagnant with what it is that you're going to become a dinosaur. When people are speaking about new things, you are going to be talking about very old things, right? It's important to always add knowledge to yourself. So instead of sitting on the whole day on TikTok and watching quote unquote nonsense, better pick a book and read, or watch a podcast that is going to open your mind, that's going to add knowledge to you, that is going to add some new ways of thinking, new perspectives, and so on and so forth. Those things are incredibly powerful, right? Yes, Gloria, they say the reward of hard work is more work. Yes, listen, Andy T and Gloria, unfortunately, we are in a culture where, when you are hardworking, they tend to add more work. Please look at it as a blessing. Okay, look at it as a blessing to be able to prove yourself. You're proving yourself. You are showing that you are showing a demonstrable appetite to be able to get more and more work done, right? If you look at it like that, is you change your perspective in the way you handle work and task, and people are and that's why I say the flip side is if the people end up not appreciating you, understand that you're going to walk away knowing that you were somebody who did more, right? But if you're going to join the others and say, oh, as for me, I'm not going to do more work, I don't think you want that tag following you, for real. The next one is building strong relationships, right? Which I think is incredibly important. So our last session, I think, was on networking. And I told you how it's important for you to be able to put yourself in a position where you are networking, you're building relationships with different people within the organization and outside the organization. It's a powerful thing, and it can open a lot of doors for you. The next one is problem solving skills, right? Companies are dealing with problems every day. Day in, day out, we are dealing with a lot of problems. Every day we come to work is because we are coming to solve a problem. In fact, the organization was set up to solve a certain particular problem. So now it's about having people within the organization, right, who come in, day out to come up with creative ways of solving the problem every day, right? So this aspect is a huge one, especially now in our world today, right? So proficiency in problem solving positions you as a valuable resource for overcoming challenges and can lead to leadership roles in projects management and process improvement, right? So like I alluded to earlier, if we are rolling out a certain way of delivering our products or services to our customers, right? Definitely at a certain point in time, you're going to have a situation where, there might be certain difficulties, right? So I remember the last time I went to the DVLA office to renew my license. And when I got there, they told me that I had to go and do my eye test. Where did I go and do my eye test? I had to go so I went to 37. And they told me I had to go all the way to Marina Mall, that there was a clinic there to go and do my eye test. And after I do my eye test there, I have to come back. I don't know who thought about that, but that was very, I don't know, it didn't make sense to me, right? So for somebody in the organization, even though it's something that they've rolled out, you might be that person who pays attention to the way and processes things are rolled out to ensure that the customer is satisfied. And then you suggest to your boss, or be that person that's going to put or come up with a solution, right? An easier solution to the problems that we face as a company. So, and the T says all the attributes are linked in some way. More work means going in proper time management, collaboration, communication for effective work to be done. And the T, you definitely get the point. You are absolutely spot on that. So you see, when you flip it like that, you look at the fact that you are putting yourself in a position to grow. So that's a good observation. Number 10 is effective communication, right? So strong communication skills are vital for conveying ideas, building trust, leading teams, and then making you a prime candidate for leadership positions. I need to stress that in organizations, I tend to chat with a lot of colleagues, and you hear things like, oh, this person, they just spoke very well about, something, and they were given a promotion. But me, I knew the thing, but I didn't know how to say it well. And so the promotion passed me by. Well, let me say here now that I need all of you to understand that communication, right? Effective communication is a very, very powerful tool to have in your kit, right? And so if you do not know, or you're in the process of finding ways and means to be able to speak confidently and effectively, right? The ability to be able to convey your ideas to others to understand what it is that you are saying is an incredibly powerful tool. And it's something that all of us need to be able to work on day in, day out, right? So please, that's something I need you to pay attention to. Number 11 is adaptability and resilience. I cannot stress that enough, right? When a ship is on the sea, the sea moves the ship in like so many different directions, right? The captain and the crew are equipped enough to be able to understand that they need to be adaptable, right? So when the sea moves them in a certain direction, they need to position the ship in a way and manner that ensures that they are still on course, right? That they are still resilient in the face of different work environments and so on and so forth. Somebody has their hand up. MH, you want to ask a question? MH has his hand up. If you have a question, you can ask. MH. Okay, let me finish and then we'll wrap up soon. The next one is goal setting and planning, right? I mean, you should be able to set goals, right? Set very clear goals, plan as to, oh, okay, all right, cool. So goal setting and planning, setting and achieving personal and professional goals is the hallmark of self-leadership, right? So like I stressed earlier, it starts with you and the fact that you're able to put yourself together to be able to get the outcomes that you want, not anybody else, but you want, right? Then the last one has to do with taking responsibility for mistakes. As you journey along, you're definitely going to make mistakes, right? You're not going to get everything 100% of the time. The powerful thing here to do is to acknowledge and learn from mistakes, right? It demonstrates a certain level of maturity and a commitment to personal growth, right? And yeah, I mean, your superiors or your employers and your work colleagues are going to admire that about you, right? When you make a mistake, own it, own it, own it, and say I made a mistake, and I'm looking for ways and means to make it better, right? So we are wrapping up here. So so by exhibiting these different self-leadership qualities, you should be able to contribute to your career advancement, right? By demonstrating that value that you have, the fact that you are adaptable, and the fact that you have the potential for taking on greater responsibilities. And the T and Gloria, right? I hope that this session has renewed your mind as to how you are going to be dealing with, these sorts of situations as you move along, right? These qualities put you in a position where you become a desirable candidate for promotion, right? You enter certain spaces and some people rise very fast and some people don't understand, right? It's all, if you have certain cheat codes, definitely you're going to stand out. It's as simple as that. Guys, the quote to wrap up is by Simon Sinek that I want to share. It says that we are not victims of our situations, we are architects of it. Right? It's to understand that there's a whole lot under your control. There's a whole lot that you are responsible for, that if you decide to pay attention to, things are going to look bright for you. Thank you very much. I know there was a lot of dancing with the internet today, but thank you so much. Are there any questions that you'd like me to answer? Any feedback? Is there any feedback that you want me to have? Any questions, any comments? Aniti, thank you very much. Benny, thank you very much. I hope you picked up some useful notes. Guys, any questions? The floor is open. There is a thank you. So the floor is open. Can I please have the last part again? Is it the quote? I don't know if it's the quote you want. So the quote here says that we are not victims of our situations. We are architects of it. Yeah. Okay. Anybody has a question? Okay. So people are saying they learned a lot. Great presentation. Thank you for the session. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm guessing somebody wants to ask a question. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Right.
I've actually learned a lot.
I'm glad to hear. What did you learn? Tell me first what you learned and then you ask a question.
Well, I learned about self-discipline, improving on myself, then stopping complaining about what I'm doing, but me taking responsibility about my own life.
Okay.
Yes,
Good,
so
good,
that's what.
good. I'm happy you picked that.
But I
Abdul
want to say
Rahman.
this.
Okay, all right.
Uh, the, the instability of your system maybe from your computer system. So you need to update your operating system or the Zoom app.
Okay.
That may be the problem.
Okay. I'll take that into consideration. It hasn't happened before, so I don't know. I'll definitely check on that. Thank you so much. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? The floor is open for questions, guys. Okay. You mentioned the group chats before the class started. I'm not aware. Also, I missed the session. And okay, Gloria, I'm guessing that's not for me. Abdul Rahman says, please, how can you measure the extent of your handwork? Is it hard work or handwork? I'm guessing it's hard work. Okay, so Abdul, I'm sure when you see hard work, when you see somebody, being dedicated, somebody being committed, somebody putting in the work, you see it. Is the reason at the beginning of my presentation I mentioned to you that self-leadership is practical. One, two, it's visible, it's tangible. When you see somebody who is putting in the work, there's no two ways. It's how we're able to judge. Um, in sports, it's how you're able to differentiate between one team or the other, right? For the football fans in the house, I'm sure you guys have heard of Brentford, right? So when a team is playing Brentford, we all see, the level of dedication. We all see the level of hard work. We all see the level of teamwork that's, the Brentford team puts in when they are playing any team, right? Yeah, you would know. And if you don't know, then well, I'm guessing you're not working hard enough. Yeah, I hope I've answered your question. Good. Guys, any more questions? I am very open to questions. Okay, so I'm going to do what I did last week. Everybody is going to share one thing that they learned. So Abdul Rahman, I want you to start. Unmute your microphone and then share one thing that you learned today. Let's go around quickly and then we can wrap up.
Hello?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. Kwame.
Mm.
Yeah, and we thank you for the insightful presentation.
Most welcome.
Yeah. At first, I was just thinking leadership is about being a leader and then or you having followers.
Mm.
But from the presentation, I have learned that I have to be a leader of myself
Mm.
before I can lead others. So my time management and where I even stay and at work site,
Mhm.
all have to involve myself being a leader before others can follow my instructions.
Abdul, you're absolutely spot on.
Yeah, I just thank you for the emphasizing on the self-leadership.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Jessica, Jessica is the co-host, but yes, I also want to ask you what you learned today, Jessica.
Um, thank you so much, Kwame.
Right.
This is my first time joining your session, but
Oh,
then
okay.
I've learned a lot. First of all, you started by letting us know that leadership is a practical skill. It's not just a theory that we should have in our heads, like leadership. It's something practical. You need to do the work. Also, I've been hearing about leadership. So what I want to say is that um in the presentation today you presented about leadership, but then most of the times it is not related to followership.
Mm.
I mean, when you're a leader, you have followers.
Mm-hmm.
But then for now, most of us are, even as we are learning to lead ourselves, we are followers of leaders.
Mm-hmm.
So my expectation was, how we learning to lead ourselves, how are we going to relate it in our followership, as in how we are in our followership.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
Okay.
don't
I
know
think
if
I
I
think
get
I
what
I
I'm
think
trying
I
to say.
I sort of get what you mean. So
Yeah.
okay. So my emphasis for today's session was to focus on the fact that we hear the word leadership, but then it's we sort of have framed it in a way that is outside of us, right? So I wanted the expectation at the end of this session was to make sure that, or was to ensure, or to put us in a place where we looked inward and understand that we need to be able to lead ourselves first. And within the context of career, um, starting our careers and advancing in our careers, is to understand that you are going to join workplaces, right? You are definitely not going to be the CEO. You're going to
Yes.
join a workplace where you have a CEO, you have the CEO, and have supervisors and whatnot,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
they are going to have their structure and the way they do things. The point here is that because if you put yourself in a position where you do the work, you do the introspection, you go hard on self-awareness, you do the necessary behind the scenes work, right? When you go into the place, just like a tea bag, when they put you in that hot water, who you are is going to come out. Remember I said that, right? Who you are is always
Yeah.
going to come out. But if the place is toxic, right? If the place is toxic, so in that situation, when you enter the place, you're a follower, right? They
Yeah.
have their rules and whatnot, right? But this is how I look at it. We are all leaders by we are all leaders by right, right? When you enter a place, it's just that the hierarchy within a hierarchical system, we have people who are at the top. So we have like the people who are at the very top who are leading the whole ship. And then, so the leaders within that ship, right, are what we call followers, but they are leaders. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Yes. And so what's important is when you enter a space, just make sure that all of the things that we highlighted here today are things that you exhibit. Work on yourself and make sure that you have your own internal standards, right? You have your own internal standards. If it means that you're going to be a self-starter, be a self-starter. If it means that you are bringing in a positive attitude, bring the positive attitude. If it's a situation where you have integrity, exhibit that integrity, right? But if you feel like the place is too toxic and it's not allowing you to be able to live up to those your standards, please, what do? You leave that place. Leave, and go and show your unique set of skills elsewhere, because people want those skills. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand, but you
Good.
see, in our
Mm-hmm.
society, let's
Mm-hmm.
say in it, I get what you're saying, that
Mm-hmm.
you should be able to take that stand and leave a toxic environment when you feel like they are not appreciating your
Mm-hmm.
work.
Mm-hmm.
But then I feel like that in actual sense, that is what you are supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But then most of the times people are hesitant to do it. They are
Mm-hmm.
reluctant because then they feel like there are not a lot of opportunities out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, you see,
That's a very fair point.
of unemployment, and yes, I think the
Yeah.
fear is there. But
That's a
then,
very fair point.
but then
Which is a very fair
your,
point.
yeah,
But you see, then again, the point is not to put yourself in a position where your standards are compromised, right?
yeah,
To get to the place where your standards are going to be compromised is an issue. So let's say you work in a government agency or whatever, right? And everybody's supposed to come to work at 8, and you see them coming to work at 9:30. Are you saying because that place is what it is and the negative attitudes that they have towards work, you're also going to join the team?
no, you wouldn't join the team.
No.
Let's say they come to work at 9, but then you decide that for me, I won't join them. I'll go to work at 8. You always go
Yes.
at 8, but the thing is that you can't take the stand to stop because you're afraid if you stop, you won't find another opportunity elsewhere.
Okay. So let me put it this way. There are so many toxic work traits that quite a number of organizations show from time to time, right? And I understand it. I live in the real world, so I know exactly what you're talking about, right? My thing is, everywhere you go, right, who you are should always come out, right? Who you are in terms of the things that we highlighted today. You being a self-starter, you being taking initiative, you looking for more responsibility, you looking for all the things that we highlighted today in our session should come out, right? And as much as possible, if it means that you find out that the space that you are in is toxic, you would know from the first month. It's just the truth. From the first month, you would know, right? If it means that you start looking elsewhere for places that you feel like are going to be in line with your internal standards, start looking for those places while you are there, because of course you have to eat, right? You have to get that money, right? I understand it.
Yes.
Of course, yes, you have to get that money. But you see, the point is not to say, oh, okay, it doesn't matter, I'm going to be here because there are no jobs around, and so I'm going to be compromised. That's the practical angle I'll give you. Do not get to the point where it becomes like you become compromised based on the environments that you are in, just because you are thinking that you are not going to get jobs.
It doesn't make you a good leader.
What doesn't make you a good leader?
Compromising your internal values.
Exactly. That's my point. So within the first month, you know that this place, I've seen too many issues. I'm trying, but Charlie, these people, they have their way of doing things, right? Immediately you start looking, even if it takes you a year, be looking, right? But then still stick to your standards. Better, you see, this is one thing I always say, also better to be that person who stood up for the truth. Let's say when we talk about the issue of integrity, right? Better to be that person who stood up for the truth than the person who stood up, who joined the group lie. People always remember, you might suffer. That's just the truth. You might suffer in the short term, but you just because of the way the world works, something good always comes up.
Yeah.
At least in my experience. Do you understand?
I understand.
Good. Thank you for a very practical session. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Andy T. Andy.
Hello.
Yes, sir. What's
Yes,
any
good
feedback?
evening.
Anything you've learned today? Yes, good evening.
Yes. I was about writing it in the chat. So I've
Okay.
learned today's presentation was basically emphasizing self-leadership
Mhm.
and how to lead yourself and the importance of that. Yes, and I've learned that it takes active or deliberate, intentional effort to lead self. And I know mostly we are passive about leading ourselves, and we focus more on leading others. So building that conscious confidence too, that conscious sense of confidence, and that conscious sense of growth for yourself, and knowing who you are, knowing your values, knowing your belief system, cultivating habits that aligns with your belief system, and then seeing you grow, how you influence your environment for yourself in the first place. Like you made mention of the fact that we can, castigate a lot of people who are outside there throwing rubbish on the street. But when you come to your houses, I mean, how are you leading yourself in that
Thank
in
you.
that regard,
Thank
in
you.
your own small space? So um I've learned a lot, but I mean it goes on and on and on. And one thing I learned is that all of the attributes you shared on how to lead yourself are linked. So if you want to, let's say, take initiative, taking initiative will help you to also plan your time very well, because you are going to get more responsibility.
Right.
And when you get more responsibility, you know that you cannot do all the work by yourself. So you need to either collaborate or deliberate with other people so that they can help you. Yes, and you cannot delegate properly if you don't effectively communicate what you are trying to do.
Thank you.
So in all, you are building skills. Yes, as you lead yourself. Yes. So thank you very much, and God bless you for this presentation.
God bless you too, Andy. Spot on, spot on. Wonderful stuff. Camille, kindly give us some feedback. Okay, I don't think Camille is ready. Benjamin Tay. Benjamin, kindly give us some feedback.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity again.
Welcome.
And what I've learned from the presentation is you are first the leader of yourself before anything else. And in whichever environment you find yourself in, do not let the environment affect your ethics. If you are to leave that environment, you should have left a positive impact. And if you find yourself amongst friends of that sort or of that nature, prompt them a few times. And if they are still sticking to their ways, you should separate yourself from them so that it doesn't affect you as a person. So these are the takeaways I got from the presentation. Thank you again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Benjamin. Benny Goodman.
Okay, so I put in a chat, but I mean, I can still share.
Okay.
So yeah, what I learned today was, as of course, in addition to what I put in chat, that you must take responsibility as a leader. So you have to learn to don't just blame others for what is going on. Learn to see where is going wrong in your life and take full responsibilities and build a value on yourself. Yeah, and know your worth. Know how much you worth as a leader. Yes, and of course, I mean, I actually didn't expect to hear that leading yourself first. I mean, honestly, and that was really a striking thing for me. That need to learn to lead yourself first. Yeah, so that was good to hear. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you too. I mean, to understand that you're your own government, right? So if anybody looks at you, would you want anybody to come and be with you? If you are your own government, would you want anybody to come and be with you in your country? That's an important point to take. Emanuela Emisa, do you have anything to share? Any feedback? What did you learn today? Emanuela, I'm guessing Emanuela is not ready. Gideon. Gideon? Okay, I don't think Gideon is ready as well. Gloria, can you share what you've learned today? But the women don't want to talk.
Okay, so today I think that to be able to effectively lead ourselves,
Mhm.
we need to be self-aware. Like there is no self-leadership without self-awareness. And self-awareness ensures that we are able to self-evaluate, like to know that we are doing what is right or what is not right, like in alignment with our values. And also helps us to know if we are building on ourselves or like we are going the other way. So that is what I learned today.
Gloria, awesome. Thank you so much. Who do we have here? Godson, can you please share? Oh, okay. Gideon, Godson, can you share what you've learned? Okay. Okay. I'm sure Godson is not ready. Harrison Asari.
Okay,
Could you
thank you very
yes.
much.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah. So today I learned
Hello.
that the
Hello.
first person.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay,
who's that?
I was testing this.
Oh, Godson. Okay. Okay, Harrison, can you pause 1 second? Let's just get Godson to speak and then you come in.
Hello.
Yes, Godson, yes. Please speak.
Hello. Evening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Your sound is echoing.
Yeah, there are two machines at the same place as well.
Oh, okay. Could we please kindly have one so we can hear you?
All right. I actually joined not from the beginning, but when I came
Okay.
on now, I've learned a lot. Yeah, you've enlightened the eyes of my understanding, and you made me to understand what a leadership is. And you said true leadership mastery begins when I fly. And fly means I first lead myself.
Awesome. Yeah.
You've also made me to understand that the first person I lead is myself. And then I also earn the right to lead others when they see me lead my life well. And so many more. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Godson. Harrison, I think you can hop on.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So so today I learned that the first person to lead is ourselves. And also when we lead ourselves, we earn the right to lead others.
Thank you.
When they see if our life is in place. And also in the quest of our self-leadership, there are some questions we need to ask ourselves. Out of which some of our how are you leading yourself? How are you guiding yourself? And also we must ask ourselves, how are we influencing ourselves? And also what values do we stand for? And when we ask ourselves all these questions, they help us, they help provide a clear picture of where we want to go to. Thank you.
Harrison, bless you. Thank you so much. Kamaldeen and Hassan. I don't know if you could. Oh, okay. Kamal says Kamal didn't share it in the chat. He says, sorry, my network is poor. I've learned a lot, but what sticks out for me is fly. First, lead yourself. It reminds me of the Prophet Muhammad, of a saying of the Prophet Muhammad that says that the greatest jihad, strive and struggle, yet very rewarding, is with one's own self. Thank you so much, Kamaldeen. That is brilliant. The fact that you're able to relate it to one of the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad. Thank you. Maxwell Kwaku. Can you please share what you've learned? Okay, I don't think Maxwell is ready. Mohammed Amin. Mohammed. Okay, I'm guessing Mohammed is not ready. Pious.
Hello.
Yes,
Okay, so
Pious, speak to me.
I joined in very late. I was
Okay, but
trying
what
to
did you hear?
join, but my network was acting up. But based on the contributions from other people, as well as when you were wrapping up, I've gotten to understand that you really have to be self-aware, understand yourself. To me, what I knew about school is that the self is like a mirror. That how you see yourself will have an influence on people. So before you can lead other people, you really have to understand yourself, and you have to lead yourself before you lead other people. So based on the understanding, I've also gotten more to add to what I had from school or anywhere at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pius. You're absolutely spot on. So Maxwell says, I learned that a good leader is one that leads him or herself well first. I'm particularly inspired by the catchword fly, which means first lead yourself. I also learned that because I must lead myself first, I should be concerned about developing personal value standards instead of getting overly concerned and preoccupied by the attitudes and behaviors of other people. Thank you so much, Maxwell, for that. I really appreciate that. I'm guessing we are wrapping up. So Sule Fuselu, do you have anything to share?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I
Right.
believe my good friends have said a lot, but what I've also learned is that everyone is a leader. But before we can do that, we first have to assess ourselves to know that indeed, if we can lead others, because if you can't lead yourself, you can lead others. And one thing I've also learned is that being a leader doesn't mean that you should have a title. Positions are just temporary.
Thank you so much. Thank you for saying that.
Ranks and titles are just limited, but what you do is what people use to remember you when you are no more there. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. That's you're absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on that. Finally, we have Wanda. Wanda, any feedback for us? Okay, Emanuela says I can talk now. Okay, Emanuela, hop on. Please speak. Emanuela, I think you've unmuted your mic, so you can speak.
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for this great presentation. What I learned was, and then I also learned that some problem solving, and if you can express yourself in a very good way, yeah, that's what I learned. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you too. Wanda.
Yeah, hi. Hello.
Wanda, kindly share
Hello.
what you've learned. Wanda, we're waiting for you. I don't know. I cannot hear. I don't know if Wanda is speaking at all because I cannot hear him.
I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to speak, but it appears you can't hear me. Yes, we cannot hear you at all. Okay. Okay, maybe it has to do with your connection or something. But you can type it in the chat so I read it. Okay. Okay. That's guys, thank you so much. Thank you for another interesting session. Forgive my internet's fluctuations. I don't know what happened today, but well, technology is technology. But I'm glad we're able to at least go through everything and end it smoothly. Thank you so much, That I have officially handed over.
Okay. Well, as you mentioned, I think this session was insightful as always. And the only sorry, the only challenge was the network, but you know, it was good. And I personally one or two things that I always learn from you.
In fact, That you have, in fact, we want to hear what you have learned.
Yeah, I'm keeping it to myself. I mean, whatever I learned, I heard a lot of people saying the same thing. So we should all try to be leaders of
Hello?
our. Hi, can you hear me?
Please, we want to hear you say it again. Right.
Sorry, I did.
That can you hear me?
Hi, Kwame.
Yeah,
I can't
we
Oh,
want to hear you say what you learned. Like, it
yes,
doesn't matter if
yes,
someone said, we want to hear it.
yes. We want to hear what Abidat has learned.
Hi. Anyway, as I said earlier,
Uh-huh.
most people said what I learned. That's why I didn't want to share. But I know that we have to be leaders of ourselves.
Mm.
And why, Kwame, you look like you're trying to give me a call. That is what I learned. So please read what's on his screen. Yeah, but I know I think it was
Good. Thank you so much too. Yeah, looking forward to our next session.
good. I'll share the flyer for the marketing
Okay.
meeting.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, we usually have our catch-up meeting a week, every other week. So from the beginning of the month, the second week is for catch-up, and then the fourth week is for career coaching. Like we make sure that
Oh,
we at least one class during the catch-up meeting. We have
oh,
to
okay.
yes, but I want to use this opportunity to take some questions from our students if they have, and also give them updates on the program. So you can leave the meeting if
Okay.
you have nothing more to say.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Guys, thank you so much. Yeah. So until our next session, take care. Bye.
Okay.